We come with messages of love and of light. And through this teaching of vibration and unity comes the awareness of you as an energy and as a currency, and using that wave of currency and electromagnetic energy to really step into your creatorship and step into your power as you are the wave or the spiral that spirals in and out of this existence. And so this teaching has been downloaded to us in such a way of undeniable truth that speaks to us on a soul level. And it's something that we need to share in its purest existence and the purest vibration and truth for unity and for the collective, and most of all for the planet. So what this teaching is, it basically will be broken up into 4 different quadrants or 4 different soul sessions, and there'll be a meditation to go with each of these sessions for integration purposes. And the quadrants are so magnificent, but also so deep. So it'll be better to be broken up into 4 different sessions. We will teach you how to draw it, and we will download the messages as they come through in its purest form. But we would love for everybody to be on this journey with us as we also learn about currency and the vibrational alignment of which our soul carries. So if you are new to energy and to vibration, we would suggest that you go back and watch several of the other Om Effect videos in terms of downloads. And if you are already aware of your vibrational and your energetic body and are ready for a new version of yourself, a new version of your life unfolding, a new reflection in the mirror, then we would say that it's time for you to step into your soul purpose and your creatorship, which is who you are. And now that consciousness and the 5th dimensional reality is open for everybody to step into, our guides have really shown us that now is the time to step into this form of understanding, and it is time for this teaching to be shared. How it was broken down to us was that there are 4 main areas in your soul imprint and in your life. One of those things could be a universal law, and one of those things could be something that you're doing every single day without even realizing you're doing it. And then how each of those factor into your life as it unfolds. So a lot of people do manifestation practices and can manifest certain things, but for the really big ones or the important ones are unable to manifest those. And this teaching will also kind of break down why that's happening. So we'll start off at the first section of the 4, and that is called the law of attraction, or the attracting quadrant. And this is on the bottom left of a square, if you can picture a square. And in this quadrant, we understand law of attraction as a universal law, as a fact. You are always attracting. And we'll go into details about the 0 point, the attraction point, and how you can continually be attracting everything that is coming to you. And then as we move over from the bottom left of the square to the bottom right of the square, we are looking at giving. So we have a giving and receiving type of relationship, or some of us just have a giving type of relationship for ourself, for our collective, for our community, and for our planet. So when it comes to giving, it's about what are we giving back, and what are we giving back to the planet. And then as we move into the top right hand corner, we go into the amazing practice of manifestation and manifesting. And really understanding, are we manifesting from our heart? Are we manifesting from our minds? Where are we manifesting from? And how can we be the powerful manifestors that we are beyond the physical reality, beyond the things of a car and a house and a relationship? What else can we manifest? And then we complete that square in the top left corner with receiving. And receiving is an energy that we find the most difficult and the most challenging, because we shut it down a lot of the times where we don't feel worthy enough to receive, or we're not aware that we are literally like a radio receiver walking around constantly receiving information from unity consciousness and from people around us and the energies around us. So those are the 4 main points. So we have attracting, giving, manifesting, and receiving. And it was shown to us as in a square where those are the bases of that square. And in the middle of the square comes a spiral. And we start in attracting, we move to giving, to manifesting and receiving. And it keeps going around and around and around. And in that spiral is a middle point, or what we would call a 0 point. And that's the purest part of your soul existence, because it's all of those things coming together. It's attracting, it's giving, it's receiving, it's manifesting, all in that 0 point. And to activate that 0 point and to get that spiral moving, it comes back to our thoughts, our intentions, and our beliefs. And it doesn't start until you are in full understanding of the law of attraction and the attraction point. So that'll give you the basic understanding, or the basic blueprint to start your unity currency system or practice. Then within that, there is a spiral, obviously, and then we want to make sure, and we were told to make sure several times, that we don't change the words of it, because unity currency is something that's speaking to us kind of like a code or a light language. It's speaking to us at a soul level. So the unity currency is those 4 quadrants with the spiral and the 0 point, which is us. If we can have complete harmony in our divine and masculine and divine feminine energy in each of those singular quadrants, and if we can find balance in each of those quadrants, the way that they merge together, are we giving and receiving in the same way? Are we manifesting and attracting in the same way? Is there perfect symmetry and balance? Is the spiral continually moving? That's where we can have the powerful outcomes of your divine creation, because you are divine creation. And the most important understanding that I've personally received from this is that you are the current. So the currency that we use in today's exchanges could be monetary, coin, Bitcoin, dollar, credit, debit, whatever it is in terms of monetary value. It could be energy exchange. But just realizing that you still have to give or receive, you still have to attract or manifest, because you are the current. The money or the exchange is only the transaction. So if all of that power can be within you and you are the one, you are the currency, then how does that look in your life right now? How does that translate? How does that transact? And really expanding on that, because money, just like anything else, is energy, but it's transactional. So what am I, and how am I inputting or engaging in the transaction? If I'm the energy exchange, if I'm the unity currency, if I am the flow, if I am the 0 point, if I am the flow of life, if I am attracting, giving, manifesting, and receiving, if I am all that I am, then what do I need? And this is the whole point of this teaching, because it's getting beyond the limitations of not just how much is in my bank account, it's moving and expanding beyond a bank account. Because what do you need a bank account for if you are all that you are? And yes, you may have to have certain things to live a 3D or 4D or 5D life here, like clothes and shoes and shelter and food. And you signed up to play that role. However, can you expand beyond the dimensional realities and the limitations that you put on yourself? What this teaching will also highlight to you is the areas in your life where you are in imbalance. For example, are you giving as much as you are receiving? Because in that square or in that corner of the quadrants, you may have 10 things that you're giving, and in your receiving, you have 2. So it's something just to be aware of. Well, am I giving as much as I'm receiving? And am I open to receiving if I'm only focused on giving? And having balance in those 2 edges and the other 2 edges as well. And then just as a deeper understanding, each of these areas of the quadrants actually have 3 points to focus on. So once you've drawn it out and you've listed your things, it's just an awareness practice. Okay, where is my energy at? How much am I doing in each quadrant? To get a little bit deeper and to start to work with the spiral and to start to make unity currency work for you, we would really recommend that you go along on this journey with us and discover specifics in each of those quadrants. And when we mean specifics, we mean 3 points: the self, the collective, and the planet, or the earth. And throughout the Om effect, you will see us always referring to the self, the collective, and the planet. And we do that because unity currency has such a powerful effect that we can't not think of those things anymore, because they're in direct effect to everything that we say, that we think, and that we do. So where you have the word attracting in your bottom left-hand corner, let's put in 3 points. What am I attracting for the self? What am I attracting for the collective? And what am I attracting for the planet? And you'll start to really reflect on expanding more than just the self. Then you go to the giving section and you'll say, okay, what am I giving to the self? What am I giving to the collective? What am I giving to the planet? Go on to manifesting. What am I manifesting for myself? What am I manifesting for the collective? What am I manifesting for the planet? And then the last quadrant is receiving. What am I receiving for the self? What am I receiving for the collective? And what am I receiving for the planet? And then we do the same practice. So listing out under those 3 categories exactly what am I doing for those specific things. And again, is there balance? Is there a balance between each category within the one attraction? Do I have 3 things for the self that I'm attracting, 5 things for the collective, and nothing for the planet, for example? We want to have balance within that, so that when the spiral starts, you are not starting anything within limitation or lack. You're starting with a full, clear bolt of energy, a full current. And then we go to the giving, and the same thing: self, collective, and earth. Am I giving anything to the self? That's a really hard one. You may have to think about that. What am I giving to the collective? What am I giving to the planet? And the same thing for the other 2, manifesting and receiving. And once you have some balance in these quadrants and in the subcategories, you will start to see the perfect harmony and flow within your own quadrants and within your space and within your energy. And then this is the tool. That's the workbook. But now you have the tools, and you have the tools to start to attract and create and give and manifest whatever it is that you desire. And another cool thing that was explained to us was the more that you do this practice, the more that the spiral comes alive. Meaning it starts off as words on a piece of paper within a square, and then you add in your categories and your subcategories, and then it starts to have balance. And when we have balance of energy, we start to have movement. So then you can add in your spiral. And once you can step away from that paper and maybe look down, you'll start to see that that square is the base, and it's all coming to a 0 point in a triangle. So if you're looking down completely, you'll see the quadrants and you'll see the spiral inside the triangle. And they showed us that the paper is, I guess, a 3D or a three-dimensional version of unity currency. A fourth dimensional version would be seeing the pyramid. And then the fifth dimensional understanding would be seeing the pyramid, the paper, and the spiral actually moving, because that's the tool. And then you can have this 0 point as a focus for anything that you desire. And if you can take away one thing from today's session, would be the unity currency is already you. You are the current. You are the attraction point. You are the giver. You are the manifester, and you are the receiver, literally. And starting to balance all of those areas will charge the energy and give you a bolt of light to start moving in a direction of more balance. And overall, this would be a tool that you could use to be in your divine creation, be in your higher self, be in your soul's purpose. And through these sessions, we will go into more detail of each subcategory and do some live sessions to help people out to see where they may be stuck or need some more support. And hopefully together we can all be working within our pyramids and within our triangles and within our spirals to create the world that we want to live in together. It's only with love and light that these messages are able to come through, and we would love to see you on this journey with the Om effect and really effect more energy and more love and more light in your personalized experience, the collective experience, and of course for our planet. Allow us to talk about law of attraction. We feel the law of attraction or attraction in the quadrant is the starting point, as this is not up for interpretation or changing in terms of the vibration of what attraction is. It is a fundamental universal law. There would be no misinterpretation from a vibrational and energetic stance. It is as above, so below. It is attraction. It is the law of one. So we feel this is the best explanation in terms of a starting point for unity currency, as everybody will be on the same starting point. When it comes to a starting point, it often brings up areas in your life and in your path that you may not have so much focus or attention on. For example, If you know that you are a powerful attractor and that your universe is governed by one law, which is law of attraction, then why are you not focused on this in your everyday life? And these thoughts and feelings will come up during this practice because it is a open secret of such. Now that you have this understanding, it is time to dig deeper and to move further in expansion within the 3 subcategories of attraction and of unity currency. So the law of attraction is the simple law. Now, what are you as an individual experience attracting for the self? What is your focus? What is your energy? Let's take an example of a car. I am attracting a car. That is for the self. What are you attracting for the collective? Now let's use the same example of the car. How is that assisting or supporting the collective? Well, it's showing people that they can also manifest a car. It is supporting businesses that are selling the car, selling the parts, washing cars, driving cars. And then how is this related to or supporting the planet? Well, exactly. So there could be things where you are stuck on, or it's not vibrationally aligned with the planet. Let's take another example. What am I attracting for the self? I am attracting health. I want to be healthy. I want to have a healthy lifestyle. That's what I'm attracting. So everything that comes up in my life is related to my goal of health. And how is that attracting for the collective? Well, I'm attracting that organic foods are priced at a point where more people can eat them, and farmers are treated like family, and local distribution is more accessible, and we are moving away from mass production and going back to small batches and small local markets and supporting our community. Part 2 of that is I'm also attracting that timeline of food is medicine and food can heal for the collective. Okay, so how does that support the planet? Well, this supports the planet because it is constantly giving back to the soil, looking after the crops, ensuring that there are no chemicals or fertilizers or anything like that being used back into Mother Earth, that everything is seasonal, which will assist Mother Earth in her own balance. Okay, so now you have one thing in the self, health, 2 things in the collective, the farmers and the local production and food as medicine, and 1 thing under the planet, which is a more sustainable, seasonal, giving type of experience to Mother Earth. So do we see harmony and balance in those? I would say yes. That's a very strong attraction point. So one goal for the self is so expansive and heavily impacted on the collective and on the planet. And this is the understanding and this is the expansion where we would like each person to go through and really expand on what they are attracting. Because if I'm attracting a timeline where food is medicine and food is known to heal you, then that's a very strong energetic current to really start your light and start your spiral in through the unity currency. And none of those things really involved things that you would do in your day-to-day life that would really change much. You don't have to go out of your way to manifest food as healing. You just have the thought, you use the energetic current, and it'll come. You must have at least one thing in your subcategory for planet, because all the planet is doing is exactly the same thing. It's attracting, it's giving, it's manifesting, it's receiving, and it's going round and round and round and round in perfect harmony and balance. So when you are working in the same current as the collective, in the same current as the planet, in the same current as the self, once it gets there, then it is undeniable that you are divine creation. This quadrant itself, this attraction square as part of unity currency may take the longest to go through in terms of physical hours because it's a huge quadrant, but more so for the things that it brings up. Because if I'm attracting health, then am I also attracting my illness? Or if I'm attracting love, then am I also attracting that I'm single? And these are the balances that we are discussing. And it may take you the longest time to move through and to move the next one because it'll bring up all of the stuff. And we understand that if you are taking these sessions, you have already done a lot of soul work. You're already a light worker, you're already a starseed, and you have awareness of this. So we would believe that these would be the final energy exchange of the old version of yourself and stepping into a new version of yourself. And what is that? That's changing your vibration, that's changing your current to be a higher state. And the only way to do that is to shift vibration and movement, right? So with doing that is clearing this. So attraction is key because you are always attracting. You are attracting everything that comes to you, whether it's a perception of a good thing or a perception of a not so good thing, it's still attracting. And the more that you are attracting those things that maybe you do not want to attract, then you continue in the timeline of not attracting the things that you want, which then includes the collective, which then includes the planet, because you are all of those things in one. Hence the desire for balance within attraction. And if your thoughts are the pulse, for example, and you are the magnet, this is what we mean when we're talking about electric charged or electromagnetic fields. Your thoughts are so powerful. You don't even need to say what you want to attract. That makes it more powerful. but the thoughts are just as powerful. So if you're walking down the stairs thinking, I hope I don't fall, I hope I don't fall, I hope I don't fall on my face, the most powerful words in that emotional charged sentence is fall. Where you could just walk down the stairs knowing you were going to get to the bottom. And as you do this practice, the attraction part will start off as things: a house, a car, a this, a business, a that. And the more times you do this, and we would encourage you to, as soon as you've got a current or a vibration happening about the balance, do it again, and do it for specific and certain things. You will start to notice that your attraction point and the things that you want to attract is so much more beyond a car, so much more beyond a house, so much more beyond a business, because it's you. And you will realize how intimately connected to the collective timeline and the planet's timeline that as you are upgrading and expanding and shedding the old, so are they, because you are, so they are, and they are, so you are. And if your energy goes where your attention flows, or your attention flows where your energy goes, this is the quadrant to really decide your creation. Really step into your creator mode. What are you attracting?